Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos. It's because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more and you need that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and learn how to increase your willpower and become mentally strong. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, develop willpower.
Willpower comes from setting goals and keeping those commitments to yourself. When you set a goal and you complete it, you build more willpower. You are teaching yourself, you're training yourself that you are the kind of person who sets goals and sees them through and finishes them, which gives you greater willpower to go off and take on bigger and bigger and bigger goals. But when you set a goal for yourself and you don't follow through, you don't complete it, you're teaching yourself, you're wiring your brain that you are the kind of person who doesn't have a lot of willpower. You're training yourself that you are the kind of person who does not follow through, who quits when it gets tough. So that's why it's so important that you are very careful about the goals that you set for yourself, because once you set a goal, you have to finish it. You have to follow through, because that will change your perspective of yourself. If you finish it and you do it, willpower grows. If you don't finish it and you quit, willpower drops. So here's a quick example from my life. I was driving to Boston. I drove there with my wife, with my film team. We decided we'd go for the weekend. And it was a long drive to get to Boston. How long was it, Nina? 8 hours, 10 hours? How long was the drive? Something like that, 8 hours. It was late. We got in super late. We got in at what, 2 in the morning? 1 in the morning? Something crazy. After an entire day of me driving. I'm not sleeping in the car, I'm driving. I'm doing the whole leg myself, driving the team. I arrived super late. Everybody's going to bed. And I had set a goal for myself that I was going to run for 30 minutes a day. I was going to run for 30 minutes every day. That was my goal. That was my commitment to myself. Now, we get there. It's late. Everybody's going to sleep. It would have been very easy for me to go to sleep. It would have been very easy for me to let myself off the hook and say, it's okay, it's late. You know, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do double tomorrow. It's late. It's no problem. It's very easy for the people around me to say, don't worry about it, Evan. Like, it's late. You could do it tomorrow. Everybody will let you off the hook. When everybody else will let you off the hook and you want to let yourself off the hook, that moment, exactly, precisely, is where you develop or lose your willpower. Because when it's easy, when your calendar is perfect, when there's no interruptions, when you have all the time in the world to do something, then you do it. It's easy. It doesn't build your willpower. You don't feel great about yourself. If you win a race against 3-year-olds, you don't feel great. You're not cheering that victory. But when it's hard, when you don't think you can do it, when everybody's saying don't worry about it, when you feel like you're at your wit's end, when there's every excuse and every reason in the world why you shouldn't do it, and then you still do it, that's when you build willpower. It's when it's difficult and you do it that you build willpower. And so I did my run at 1 in the morning or whatever time it was. And it was a brutal run. It was not my best run. I did not burn a lot of calories. It was not my peak. I'm tired. I'm gassed. I'm doing my run. And even though I didn't get a fantastic physical benefit from it, and even though the next day I woke up and was more tired compared to the people on my team because I slept less, I'm giving myself pats on the back. I'm giving myself high fives like crazy. I've just built my willpower. I've just built my credibility with myself. I've just built my respect and confidence internally because I did the thing that I promised that I would do when it got hard. That's the difference. That's how you build willpower. So I'm going to give you a 3-step process to help you start building your willpower right now. We're going to start making some changes in your life. You ready? Here we go. Step number 1, write down a goal for yourself today. Whatever time you're watching this video, you still have more time left before the day expires. I want you to think of something that is a goal for yourself today. What do you want to have done? You're going to make some momentum on. You're going to make some progress on before today is out. Write down that goal for yourself. Step number 2, how can you immediately take action on it? As soon as you set a goal, you want to immediately take some kind of action on it. Momentum matters so much. If you set a goal and then you drift off to something else, coming back to that goal and being in that same mindset will be really challenging, really difficult. Momentum matters. You just set an intention. I want to get this goal. This goal has to happen before the end of the day. Great. Immediate momentum. I want you to make yourself proud today. You make yourself proud by doing the difficult thing that you said you were going to do. We're building willpower, self-respect. So what is the immediate step that you can take right now to make progress on that goal? Write it down and then do it. And step number 3, repeat this for tomorrow. Bring this into tomorrow. You've just done that goal for today. Amazing. Clap it up. High five. High five. Pat yourself on the back. Amazing. It's great. Again. Do it again. Do it again. What's your goal for tomorrow? Write it down. My goal for tomorrow is X. Maybe it's just to wake up on time. I'm not going to hit the snooze button. You hit the snooze button, that's telling yourself, I just set a goal and it's okay not to do it. That's not how we're going to start our day. Maybe your goal for tomorrow is I'm going to wake up at X a.m. tomorrow. Or maybe it's I'm going to have that difficult conversation. Something that is simple to do, but is difficult for you. Getting up at a certain time is simple. You just get out of bed. But it doesn't mean that it's easy because you're tired, because you're not used to it. Having a difficult conversation is simple. You pick up the phone and you call them. Or you go meet them. It's very simple, but it's difficult. It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. It's simple, but not easy. So pick a simple, but not easy goal for yourself for tomorrow and then do it. And then every time you do that, you're building up more willpower, more self-confidence, more self-respect. Follow that 3-step process. Change your life.
Rule number 2, rise above pain.
If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you're going to have to deal with a lot of pain. There will be a moment when you feel like things just can't get any worse. You're at the bottom and then pow, life hits you in the face, and that moment will define you. Either you're gonna quit and give up, go back to having a job, or you're gonna learn to rise above and start having success as an entrepreneur. The strategy that I like to use is it's the best. You take whatever negative situation you're in, whatever that thing that feels overwhelming, all-consuming, impossible to deal with, and you tell yourself, this is the best. This thing that's happening to me right now is the best. This is my chance to show myself and the world what I'm made of. It's the best. And in actuality, it is the best because we very rarely get chances to show ourselves what we're made of. We very rarely actually put ourselves into these situations where we get hit in the face. I broke my neck, right? I broke my neck in Colorado. We wouldn't put ourselves in these kinds of situations where you break your neck and you have to put staples in your head and you have a concussion. Like, we don't do that to ourselves. But when it happens, it's the best. This is the best. I love this. I'm thinking of doing a tour in 2020 around the new book launch, East Coast in Texas, maybe Northern Mexico. It's not gonna be as good. Like pushing through, not even just the people who are DMing me and saying, hey Evan, this is so inspiring, I can't believe you're still going. I was complaining about being tired this morning and I saw you making videos with your broken neck and realized I have no excuse. Like, all of that is amazing, but it's for myself. It's to show myself what I'm made of. This is the best. Like, I really think that looking back in 10 years, like from 10 years from now, looking back on what's happening right now, in the pushing through, in the still making videos, in the finishing my tour, in the not quitting and going home, even though everybody would understand, like, this is actually the best. I think that even though I'm telling myself it's the best, this is actually an understatement compared to how much it will be the best. Because in 10 years, they're gonna look back and say, holy cow, that was crazy. I can't believe we did that. That was nuts. That's how you build self-respect. That's how you build self-confidence and self-love, by doing difficult things and being proud of your effort. Now, I haven't been 100%. I had to cancel my event in Denver because I was in the hospital. My next event was Kansas City and I had to refund everybody the money, but I still showed up and said, hey, I'll do this for an hour. And I actually went for an hour and a half, but it wasn't the full 3 hours, and so I didn't charge them for it. It wasn't my best performance compared to if I didn't have a broken neck, right? But it's actually the best. And so when you can flip your thinking, what it does is it puts you in a state of resourcefulness. When you get hit with an adversity and it's hard, right? You get hit with something, this sucks, right? When you get hit with that and you're overwhelmed by it and say, this sucks, I can't believe this is happening to me. Why me? Which is most of America, right? What most people will say. You've lost. You've just lost. And it's compounded by everybody saying, no, it's okay, don't worry, you should quit, you should give up, stop, don't worry about it. Everybody understands. You feel worse. But if you can rise up and say, this is the best, it puts you in a state of resourcefulness. It makes you feel like you can do it. When everybody's telling you to stop and you keep going because of this adversity that's hit you, that's the best. That's actually the best. And so it's about being proud of yourself, right? Now, I couldn't do the event in Denver. I couldn't do the full event in Kansas City. Did I complete my objective? No, right? Did I follow through 100%? No. But I'm proud of myself. In all of this, I want you to be proud of yourself. Are you proud of yourself? If every night you went to sleep, put your head on a pillow and said, I'm proud of myself today. Like the work I did, I'm proud. I may not have gotten the result. It may not have been perfect. I may have still let somebody down. I may still have lost money, but I'm proud of myself for what I did, your effort. And so it might seem a little weird, Duck. Maybe you'll have to watch the video a couple times or hear it repeated in a few other videos, but try it as an experiment. The next time you're faced with something overwhelming, impossible, negative, I can't believe this, why me, why is this happening? Next time you find yourself thinking those things, try to flip the script. Try to catch it and say, this is the best.
Rule number 3, always be positive.
I love the idea of reframing a negative situation into a positive one. It can really serve you. It reminds me of what Tony Robbins said of you look at the worst thing that's ever happened to your life and ask yourself, how can this worst thing ever be the best thing ever? How do you reframe it so that the most negative situation ever in your life becomes your biggest strength, becomes your mission, helps you follow something that then has a bigger impact? I really think that for people who get through a negative situation, it makes them a lot stronger just as a human being. And quite often the mission that we have in our lives, the things that we want to contribute and give back, is so that other people don't have to face the same consequences, the same suffering that we faced. So for me, I love helping entrepreneurs. I love it. It fuels me. It drives me. What's the big reason for it? Well, it's because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur that I want to make it easier for other people who are like me. And if you're looking for your mission, just go back to previous pain that you've dealt with and how you've gotten through it. Quite often what you want to do is then make it easier for people to not have to suffer through the same pain. Figure out what you stand for, figure out what your one word is, figure out what's at the core of you, figure out what your mission is. And then any negative situation that happens, you can reframe it to one that's empowering for you, the one that serves you, the ones that builds you up and can inspire others around you as well.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below.
So you have to really want to do it. If it's a bucket list thing that you have to do and you're deeply passionate about it, you have a message that you want to share, or this needs to come out, right? You need to give birth to this thing. It's that important to you. Then you should go out and do it.
1, pick the right things to work on, and then 2, focus on executing those things.
4 years by making videos every day. And I'm impatient as anything because I want it to be amazing. I want to make every video better than the last.
Rule number 4, attack judgment.
People sabotage themselves because they care too much what other people think. You're spending money that you don't have on stupid things that you don't need because you value what other people think of you more than what you think of you. If you can't get out of that trap, you'll never build the life that you want. You'll just constantly be in reaction mode doing what other people expect of you. So I think you should attack judgment. I think it's good. I think whenever you feel that you were playing small because of somebody else's opinion of you, then you have to go off and do that thing. You need to attack judgment. I think it's one of the greatest skills that you can ever teach yourself, one of the greatest practices that you can do on a daily basis. I think we play small by default as humans. I think it's baked into us. I think because of our survival characteristics of how we need to fit into society to win, I think we play small by default. And so you need to learn to attack judgment. So here's an example. My agent, Steve, I was on the phone with him and I was telling him about my new morning routine. You know, I can't do much for myself right now. I broke my neck. I broke my upper back. I had a concussion in the early days when I first fell and hit my head. And all I can do is speak, which is great for making videos, but I can't move. I couldn't put my pants on by myself. I couldn't do a lot of stuff by myself. And so my agent Steve says, you need to film your new morning routine. You need to show your audience what you're going through. You need to do an Instagram live and show us what's happening. Like, really? I'm thinking to myself, you want me to show off me putting my pants on in the morning? I'm feeling self-conscious. I've gained some weight because I haven't been able to move around. Never made a video in my underwear before, you know, all of these thoughts going through my head. And because that's part of the reason, because I'm worried about your judgment, then I have to do it. I have to do it the next day, right? Like ASAP, you have to go do the thing. Learn to attack judgment, because as long as you play small because you're worried about somebody else's opinions of you, you'll never go off and do the crazy things that you want to do. You're entrepreneurs. You want to go off and change the world. You want to do amazing things. You've got visionary ideas of things that you want to go off and do. That means you're going to attack the status quo. There's a lot of people who want to protect the status quo. A lot of people. So you're going to get judged. You're going to get attacked. You're going to get criticized because your ideas are different. You're a weird duck. Be proud of it. And so anytime you catch yourself playing small, worrying about somebody else's opinion, learn to attack it. I'm going to give you a 3-step process for how to do it. Step number 1 is when you're scared, you do it. Use your heart as an example. When your heart is beating, boom, 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 boom. I'm nervous. Most people use that as a reason to step away. No, not anymore. Use that as a reason to step forward. You're scared, that's not a reason to stop. That's a reason to move into it. Now, as long as you're not hurting somebody, don't go do something stupid like jump out of an airplane with no parachute. Okay, there's boundaries. I got it. But most of the things that you're afraid of are not actually real things. You're afraid of somebody else's judgment of you. That's not something that is worth you being afraid of. And so when you're afraid of it, boom, 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 I might be judged by my parents, by my friends, by some strangers, by people watching my videos, I might be judged, boom, boom. Do it. Train yourself. You're scared, your heart's beating, you do it. Number 2 is train yourself to do difficult things. This is how you build self-respect. It's when you do difficult things that you build self-respect. I'm pumped for myself because I'm making videos with my broken neck. Like, this is hard. I'm in pain right now, but I still do it. This is how I build my self-respect. When it's easy and you win, it doesn't count. You don't feel good about yourself. You might post about it on Instagram, but you don't feel good about yourself. But when it's hard and you try, that's how you build self-respect. So stop just looking for the easy path. I love hacks. I love shortcuts. I love finding ways to get there faster. And learn to love difficult things. Like, this is the best. This is your chance to show yourself and the world what you're made of. And number 3 is learn to build momentum. Like, every day you want to be attacking this stuff. If you do it once, it's not enough. If you're afraid of what somebody's going to think about you on a video, then get your phone out and every day make a video. Every day build momentum. Every day do something that pushes you a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. If you go to the gym once a month, you're never going to build any muscle. You need to attack this thing on a daily basis. You need to build daily momentum into your life so you can go off and attack those big, scary goals of yours.
Rule number 5, work the hardest.
The people who win work the hardest because they love what they do. They put in the hours and the hours and the hours and the hours for days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months and months, and years and years and years, because they love it, because it's not work for them. The only way you're going to be willing to put in the work that is necessary to win, to be the best in your industry, the only way you're going to put in that amount of work is because you love what you're doing. And if you don't, you're gonna lose. Because there's going to be somebody who will love it, who loves it more than you, and will crush you. And you'll be not even a number 2, you'll be mediocre. Because there's lots of people who love what they do. And there's lots of people grinding it and working hard. If you are looking at your calendar, like open up your calendar, look what you're gonna do today, or look what you're doing tomorrow. What's on the schedule? If you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I gotta do all these things. If that's your reaction, you might be in the wrong business. Now, if it's a one-off thing, if it's a one day, you gotta deal with the government or something, fine. But if that's daily, if that's consistent, if that's always happening, if you continue to look at your calendar and you're upset and depressed and angry, you're in the wrong business. The work should feel like something exciting to go and do. Where other people might jump into your schedule and say, that's crazy, I could never do that. That's great, that's why you're not crushing it like I am. Like go crush it in your field, go do your thing. As an example, here's one change that I've made to my YouTube channel. You may have noticed this month, the video series look a little different. I'm working with a videographer, Jason, and the only way we can make this thing work was if we did it on one day. So I used to film my videos once a week on a Wednesday for the week. And Jason works by the day. So, okay, you know what? I want to increase the quality of the videos. I want it to look more Hollywood. Do we look more Hollywood? Is it looking nice? Do you guys like the quality? Give a thumbs up for Jason down in the comments. And the way to make it work was to do it once a month. And so I'm sitting here filming my videos for the month. We're doing like 70 videos in one day, grinding them through. I've got 2 extra large coffees. Got one sitting behind here. I'm halfway through that. And here's the thing, to make this work, it's a lot of extra pressure on my team to get a lot of things ready and sooner and faster, right? So my team's been working extra hard to get it ready for this one time, and if we continue it, it's their usual job. It's not as stressful or hard. I'm thinking about them. I don't want them to stress out too much. But really, the person who has the hardest is me. Because for me, it's not just a one-off thing. This is now going to be every month. Like, do I have the ability to stay on, to have energy for an entire day? Can I get through making 70 videos in a single day? I don't know. But when Jason and I are on email, we're trying to figure this out, and I look at how hard it was going to be for me to be on camera for that long, I'm like, I got to do this. This is awesome. I might crash and burn and like it doesn't work out and it totally fails and I can't handle the length and the time, but I want to try. Where so many people have a hard time making 1 to 2 videos a month. Here we are making 70 in a day, crushing it all down. And I love it. It's hardest on me versus anybody else on my team, but I don't even think about it because I love the challenge. I love the ability to work that hard and see if I can do it and see if it makes sense for what we're trying to do. What do you guys think? You like these videos like this? You want more of it? Let me know, leave a comment. And so in thinking about that, I don't think that I'm super special, by the way. I just found the thing that I love doing. I'm willing to put in this kind of hustle and work because I love making the videos, because I want to create more and better content for you guys. You could put in that same amount of drive, energy, hustle that I'm doing today in your business. But it's not going to happen if you look at your schedule and like this. I was looking at my schedule last night and I'm so excited about tomorrow. I'm so excited about tomorrow. I'm so excited. I can see how it goes. Let's try to crush it, right? And again, not every day is going to be super amazing, but you should love the work that you do net. You should be excited about the day that is ahead, net, and not feeling sad, depressed, angry, frustrated about the work that you have to do. The people who win work the hardest because they love what they do.
Rule number 6, love the climb.
If you have to get motivated every single day, then you are in the wrong business. If you are in your business because you thought it was a hot opportunity or a path to make some quick money, get out immediately. Shut it all down. You can't sustain motivation for that business. Don't start a podcast if you don't love talking or interviewing with people. Don't become an influencer if you have nothing to say. Don't start a daycare if you don't love kids. It's not worth it and you're never going to win. The work itself needs to be motivating. Most days you're gonna wake up and have a pile of crap to deal with. And if you don't love dealing with that crap, you will get crushed by someone who does enjoy dealing with that crap. The trick is you need to do work that you love that other people think is crap. That's the secret. So looking at my channel as an example, this YouTube channel has grown from 7,000 followers, subscribers to 1.7 million in a matter of 4.5 years. And I love the climb and I love passing people on the way and I love the competitive spirit of it. And I know there's still so much room to grow, but sometimes I secretly hope that the whole thing goes away. So just so that I could start and do it again. I'm just short of sabotaging myself, although I have taken some risks recently. If you look at my channel last month or 2 months ago, I did some major changes that did not work. I bet everything on going down the premiere direction just because I wanted to have some variety, just because I wanted to take a big bet. And it tanked hard, and it was my worst subscriber gain in in years. And I love it. I love it. I mean, I don't love that I lost, but I love pushing. I love trying to get better. I love climbing. I love trying to find a new way to be able to go and build and get better. And I think you have to love the climb. I'm just short of massively sabotaging myself and closing down the whole thing just to start over. But I love the climb that much. It's why I loved Instagram. I'm going hardcore on Instagram right now. Halfway through the year, I had 6 or 7 or 8, something like that, 1,000 followers. And now I'm at almost 80,000 followers by still posting 6 times a day, and by going live 5 times a week, and by making 3 to 8 to 20 stories a day, and doing IGTV and all that stuff. I love the climb. I love it. I love when people look at my YouTube channel and say you have 1.7 million subscribers, but you only have 6,000 followers on Instagram. Like, what are you doing? You're a joke. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love looking at everybody who's ahead and having the ladder to climb up again. I love it. All the people who I pass on YouTube are all crushing me on Instagram, and I love it so much. And it's not doing it only to beat somebody else. It's just a competition. I like the competition. I like figuring things out. I like the hustle and the grind to try to win. I don't like being number one. I like chasing down number one. You know, I like that there's always something ahead of me to go and grow and chase. And so I think that has to be part of the entrepreneurial gene or DNA. I think having that competitive spirit is essential. And I think if you are number one, then you need to find a way to reframe it. Now, being at the top of the game on the YouTube side, it's like, well, how do I get to 10? You know, how do I get to 10 million? And sometimes it's hard because I don't see PewDiePie or any of the guys who are like way ahead of me as real competitors, because we talk about different stuff. And so it's a harder leap, but I have to, like, to get excited about hitting 10 million. I have to start thinking about who's ahead of me now, and like who's my next person to run with. It's me and Gary, right? It's me and Gary, right? We're 1 and 2, depending if you're looking at views or subscribers. We're 1 and 2, and it's me and him butting heads, going back and forth, and I love it. And so I think you need it, and you need to have something where you feel like you are growing every day. You have to love the work of the thing. I love waking up and looking at my YouTube stats. I love waking up and looking at my videos. I love waking up and looking at my comments. I love being in the thing. And I think that's it. You need to create something that for anybody else, it's torture. Jerry Seinfeld calls it torture you can endure. If you stepped into my schedule, it would be torture. You would want to get out of it as soon as possible. Like, you couldn't last 2 days in my schedule because it's just not you. And it's not because I'm great. I should do the same thing in your business. If I stepped into your schedule, I should want to die after 2 days. Like, it's just too much. It's too crazy. But it's not crazy for you because you love it. And that's the thing. Everybody has Michael Jordan level talent at something. But most people focus on the wrong thing. Most people pick a business because they're just trying to get rich, and you hate the actual process. You love the result, but you hate the process. You have to do the thing that you love the process of, that it doesn't feel like work, that you don't need to motivate yourself to get up every day and do, because you can't wait to get up and go do that thing. I love waking up and doing my YouTube and doing my Instagram and wondering how that last experiment worked, and diving into the data and doing A/B split tests on the thumbnails. Like, all that stuff is fun for me. It's fun. That's why are you so happy, Evan? Because I love what I do. Most days, not every day. There's a lot of crap you got to deal with, but I love dealing with all that stuff. I love it. And that's the trick. You got to find the thing that you love the process of, not just the end results that you're chasing. So I'm going to give you a 3-step process to making money and building a business off of something that you love actually doing, not just trying to chase a buck. Step number 1 is make a list of all the ways that you have helped people and made money doing it. Make a list, like write down all the things that you've done that you've made money by helping people. If you're not helping people, you're not making money, right? Business is about helping people. You bring value, you make money. What are all the ways that you have made money by helping other people in some form? Make a list. Step number 2, then we're gonna look at what did you love the process of and not just the result. So the result was I helped them and I made some money. Great, it's a win-win situation. But which of the ones on your list, go and circle them or put a star next to them or however you like taking notes, of the ones that you enjoyed the process of. Like, you enjoyed it. You enjoyed servicing that client. You enjoyed selling that product or service. You enjoyed making that thing. Like, you actually enjoyed it. If you're a moving truck company, you may enjoy that you have helped somebody move to their new place, and you may enjoy that they paid you, and that's great. But like, did you enjoy the moving? Do you like seeing new places? Do you like getting outside and getting a tan? Do you like being able to work on your body and build muscle as you're moving? Like, do you like it? Do you like moving stuff? Like, the best movers love moving. The best YouTubers love making YouTube videos. The best hockey players love playing hockey. And put a star next to or circle all the things on that list that you created of how you've made money helping people, that you enjoyed the process of doing it and that you would almost do for free. You would do for free because you loved it so much. And then step number 3, with practice, what do you see that you could become world-class at? So look at that list of the ones that you have made money from doing, right? Even if it's you only made $100, right? You made some money doing it. Then you start or circled it because you enjoyed the process of. How many of those are left? Hopefully at least one. Otherwise you got to start over or you got to try more things, right? But then what do you see yourself being world-class at? Like if you practiced it a lot, could you become one of the best in the world at? You may not be there now. You may not be there yet. You may not put in a lot of work at it yet. It may be something that just came naturally or it was an opportunity that showed up and you said yes to. But you know that with some practice, with dedication, with effort, with hustle, with ongoing years and years of beating on your craft, you can become the Michael Jordan of that industry. What is that thing? And so when you combine all 3 of those things, that's when you start making money from the thing that you're passionate about. When you, 1, figure out what have you made money from by helping people. When you, 2, then look at which of these tasks have I actually enjoyed doing, not just I enjoy getting paid to do it. And then number 3, which of these can you actually be world class at? Do you have Michael Jordan level talent at? Figure that out and you are on your way to building an unstoppable, impactful business.
Rule number 7, the last one before our very special bonus clip, inoculate yourself against judgment.
The more you live your life based on what other people think of you, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Listen, you're an entrepreneur. You want to do crazy things. You have a bold, ambitious vision for what you want to accomplish in your life. You want to change the way something's done in an industry, right? That's what we want to do. We want to change the world. You know what? There's a lot of people who want to protect the world, the status quo. They want to protect the way things are done. You want to come in and shake up an industry? There's a lot of people who want to protect that industry. There's a lot of people who don't like change. There's a lot of people who are so afraid of seeing you be successful because it means that they suck, right? There's a lot of people who will, in your environment, in your family, in your home, your friends, people who they don't want to see you win because it means they suck, because you've left them. Because it means that they're not good anymore because they judge themselves based off of what everybody else is doing. And a lot of people have someone in their family who went off and crushed it and they tried it and then they failed, right? They tried it, they may have had some success and then they failed and now nobody else around them is allowed to be successful. All they want to do is pull everybody else down. They took their shot, ultimately didn't work, now they pull everybody else around them. You can't let that be you. The more you want to go off and have a bold, ambitious life for yourself, the more you're going to have to learn to what I call inoculate yourself against judgment. You need to inoculate yourself against judgment. The judgment of your friends, your parents, the people around you, the general public, social media. Inoculate yourself against judgment. As long as you care what other people think of you, you will lose. You will play small forever. You will not be living your version of your life. And so how do you do it? How do you inoculate yourself against judgment? Here's how it goes. Anytime you feel your heart beating, boom, 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 boom. Your heart's beating, you're nervous, you're scared, you're worried about what somebody's gonna think of you, you have to do the thing. You train yourself. Even if it's not an expression of you, even if you don't really care about doing that thing or not, you have to do it just to train yourself. Something like this would have been really difficult for me 10 years ago. Filming on the street was really hard. I'd be worried about what people think of me. I'd be worried about me standing here in San Francisco, people walking by, what they think of me. Yelling into my phone, yelling into this microphone here, talking to you guys right here. It's scary. And so because there's potential judgment, you get scared and then you don't do the thing. Teach yourself to do the thing. If filming in public sounds like a scary thing to you, like, oh, I couldn't do that, go do it. Go find the busiest street that you can find and then go make a video. And here's the thing, expect it to suck. You're not gonna be great the first time you do something, that's okay. Expect to suck, expect it to be the worst video you've ever made. And then pat yourself on the back and say, I did it. You did it. You did it when it was scary. You did it when it was hard. That's how you build self-respect. When you do something, when you try, and it's hard, that's when you build self-respect. When you win and it's easy, you don't care. You might post about something on Instagram, you might post it, yeah, you won this little thing, amazing, but you don't feel good about yourself because it was easy. You don't want the easy wins. It's when it's hard and you try, even if you lose, it's hard and you try, that's when you build self-respect. And so you need to learn to inoculate yourself against the haters. As soon as you feel it, this is a test, boom, 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 I'm nervous, I'm scared, I don't know if I should do it or not, you have to do it. Train yourself, you have to do it. Boom, 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 you have to do it. You have to do it, you have to do it, you have to do it. inoculate yourself against judgment. As long as you live your life based off of fearing what other people think of you, you will never live your version of your life. You will never do anything great, and you're capable of great things.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and just get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of actually following through on your goals. That's not good enough. No, not for you, Believe Nation. We gotta do something. But when you write it down and you create a specific plan of action for the next week, that number jumps to 91% chance of you following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like leaving a comment on this video, it jumps to 95%. You need to follow through on your goals. So what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your specific plan of action for the next week? Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
Self-love comes from doing difficult things. Self-love comes from doing things that you think are beyond your comfort zone, that you're not capable of doing, and just getting up and trying to do it. That's when you love yourself. When something is easy and you win, you actually don't feel that great about yourself. If you were to go and run a race against 3-year-olds and you won, great, yeah, you won. You might even post about it on Instagram, but you don't love yourself. You don't feel good about yourself because you played small, because it was easy, because you were expected to win, because it was inside your comfort zone. When you play inside your comfort zone always, you don't love yourself. It comes from doing difficult things. That's how you build respect. That's how you build credibility. It's how you build self-love for you. Forget about how other people respect or look at you. It's how you feel about yourself. That's the game. And that comes from doing difficult things. So if you ran a race against 3-year-olds and you won, great. Who cares? You don't feel great about yourself because you were expected to win. But if you ran a race against Usain Bolt and he ran backwards on one leg, he would still probably destroy you. But you should feel great about yourself because you did the thing when it was hard to do the thing. You might have lost to Usain Bolt, but you got in the race against him. That's how you build self-love. When you tie your self-respect, when you tie your self-worth, when you tie your self-love to the effort that you put in on a daily basis, that's when you start to win. When you tie your self-love to winning, to getting results, you lose. When you tie your self-love to how many likes you have on Instagram or views or subscribers on YouTube, you lose. It's about the effort. Are you putting in the effort every day? Because if you are proud of your effort on a daily basis, I promise you, you are going to crush it. But if you are only proud of yourself when you win, here's what's going to happen. You're only going to take on small things. You're going to play small your entire life because you're only going to take on projects that you have a pretty high chance of winning at. Because that's how you have love for yourself. And that's a losing game because you're capable of more. You're capable of doing a lot more stuff. You're capable of playing a bigger game. You're capable of having a bigger impact. You have to. It's your duty. It's your duty to love yourself. When you love yourself, you'll be able to spread that more and help other people. And so how do you love yourself? It comes from doing difficult things. It comes from when your heart's beating like crazy and you're scared and it's some big project and you say, I'm gonna try. I'm going to try to do that scary thing. I'm going to try to record a video in public where people may be watching you. Doesn't mean your video has to be great. Chances are it's going to suck. But you tried. And you should feel great about yourself. I'm here on this tour. One of my greatest fears right now, of all time actually, is disappointing people. I hate disappointing people. It's my greatest fear of all time. I don't want to disappoint people. The idea that I would get in front of a group and disappoint them is life-shattering to me. I hate that. I hate wasting people's time. And so I'm on this tour right now. I'm in San Francisco. I'm doing 23 cities over 90 days. And I'm scared. Because I'm scared I'm going to disappoint people. And it's not just one event. I get to get up every 4 days and potentially disappoint people again. Your heart goes boom, 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 boom. You have to do it. And now just the fact that I'm out doing it, regardless of if we have amazing results or not, just me doing it, just me trying it, makes me feel great about myself. And so you need to find the same thing for you. What is a challenge that is worthy of you? That if you got up and every day tried your best, you would eventually win at it. That you're not going to tie your self-respect to you crushing it immediately. If you get a victory right away, you should have started it 3 years ago. If you get up and you make a YouTube video and it's your first one and it's amazing, you actually suck. Like, you should have started that video 3 years ago. You're supposed to suck at the beginning. You always suck at the beginning. Any new skill that you want to learn, you're not going to be very good at it at the start. That's how it's supposed to work. But if you tie your self-respect, your self-worth, your self-love to you getting up and doing work every single day that makes you proud, that says, I am proud of myself today for the effort that I put in. I guarantee you, you will not just love yourself, you will produce amazing things for yourself, for your family, and for the world.
If you want to learn how to stop being a quitter, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy it. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
Most people quit on things because they don't have a powerful mission or they don't know where their drive comes from. Chasing an opportunity isn't enough because you're going up against people who love that thing.